And as such, that was a frightening new escalation for American officials. The idea that that sabotage campaign could be coming here. Months later, the New York Times reported that White House officials became, quote, increasingly alarmed by secretly obtained intelligence suggesting Moscow had a far larger plan in mind to bring the war in Ukraine to American shores. President Biden dispatched his national security advisor and the CIA director to send a series of warnings to Putin's top aides. The core of the warning was that if the sabotage campaign led by Russia created mass casualties in the air or on the ground, the U.S. would hold Russia responsible. They didn't specify what that response would be, but they made it clear they would take the shadow war between Washington and Moscow to new levels.
There has been so much corruption and criminality between Donald Trump and Elon Musk in only the first few weeks of their administration that it is almost impossible to cover. But the story I am bringing you now is the most worrisome and potentially most dangerous for not only our country, but the world. Because Elon Musk is now being briefed on some of the most sensitive military information we have that he is likely going to be selling to our enemies to boost his bottom line. This is an incredibly scary report out of the New York Times that has Donald Trump melting down in a crazy Truth Social post. We are going to cover it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, we are going to get into Donald Trump's insane response. But first, we have to read this shocking article. A breaking news report from the New York Times reads, Musk set to get access to top secret U.S. plan for potential war with China. Giving Elon Musk access to some of the nation's most closely guarded military secrets is a major expansion of his role as an advisor to President Trump and highlights his conflicts of interest. The Pentagon is scheduled on Friday to brief Elon Musk on the U.S. military plan for any war that might break out with China, two U.S. officials said. On Thursday, another official said that the briefing will be China-focused without providing additional details. A fourth official confirmed Mr. Musk was to be at the Pentagon on Friday, but offered no details. Providing Elon access to some of the nation's most closely guarded military secrets would be a dramatic expansion of his already extensive role as an advisor to Donald Trump and leader of his effort to slash spending and purge the government of people and policies they oppose. It would also bring into sharp relief the question about Mr. Musk's conflict of interest as he ranges widely across the federal bureaucracy while continuing to run businesses that are major government contractors. In this case, Mr. Musk, the billionaire, chief executive of both SpaceX and Tesla, is a leading supplier to the Pentagon and has extensive financial interest in China. Pentagon war plans, known in military jargon as O plans, or operation plans, are among the military's most closely guarded secrets. If a foreign country were to learn how the United States planned to fight a war against them, it could reinforce its defenses and address its weaknesses, making the plans far less likely to succeed. The top secret briefing for the China war plan has about 20 to 30 slides and lay out how the United States would fight such a conflict. It covers the plan beginning with the indicators and warnings of a threat from China to various options on what Chinese targets to hit over what time period that would be presented to Trump for decisions, according to officials with knowledge of the Plan A. White House spokesperson did not respond to an email seeking comment about the purpose of the visit, how it came about, whether Mr. Trump was aware of it, and whether the visit raises questions of conflicts of interest. The White House has not said whether Mr. Trump signed a conflicts of interest waiver for Mr. Musk. The chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell did not respond to a similar email seeking comment about why Elon Musk was to receive a briefing on the China war plan. Soon after the Times published this article on Thursday evening, Mr. Parnell gave a short statement. The Defense Department is excited to welcome Elon Musk to the Pentagon on Friday. He was invited by Secretary Hegseth and is just visiting. About an hour later, Mr. Parnell posted a message on his X account. This is 100% fake news, just brazenly and maliciously wrong. Elon Musk is a patriot. We are proud to have him at the Pentagon. Mr. Hegseth also commented on X late on Thursday saying, "This is not a meeting about the top-secret China war plans. It's an informal meeting about innovation efficiencies and smarter production going to be great." The meeting reflects the extraordinary dual role played by Mr. Musk, who is both the world's wealthiest man and has been given broad authority by Donald Trump. Mr. Musk has a security clearance, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth can determine who has a need to know about the plan. A choice of sharing lots of technical details with Mr. Musk, however, is another matter. The meeting was scheduled to be held not in Mr. Hegseth's office, but in the tank, a secure conference room in the Pentagon, typically used for high-level meetings of members of the Joint Chiefs, their senior staff, and visiting combatant commanders' operation plans for major contingencies like a war with China are extremely difficult for people without extensive military planning experience to understand. The technical nature is why presidents are typically presented with the broad contours of a plan rather than the actual details of documents. How many details Mr. Musk will want or need to hear is unclear. Mr. Hegseth received part of the China war plan briefing last week and another part on Wednesday. According to officials familiar with the plan, it was unclear what impetus was for providing Mr. Musk such a sensitive briefing. He is not in the military chain of command, nor is he an official advisor to Mr. Trump on military matters involving China. There is no clear reason for Elon Musk to be receiving sensitive information, especially when he has such a clear conflict of interest with the Chinese. Elon has his biggest Tesla plant there as his sales of Tesla plummet in the United States and in Europe. That becomes a much more important market for him. He's also trying to set up his Skylink internet service there, or Starlink internet service there. Elon has so many conflicts of interest, it is insane to provide this information. And that is why Donald Trump is trying to cover for him with this post. Right here, Trump wrote, "The fake news is at it again." This time the failing New York Times. They said incorrectly that Elon Musk is going to the Pentagon tomorrow to be briefed on any potential war with China. How ridiculous! China will not even be mentioned or discussed. How disgraceful it is that the discredited media can make up such lies. Anyway, this story is completely untrue. Now, I can translate a Donald Trump post for you, and the more times he says something is a lie and vicious and fake news and untrue, the more certain you can be that it is absolutely true. Why would they be discussing those plans in such a secure environment? Why would they have to be in such a secure environment? Why isn't Donald Trump just meeting with Pete Hegseth in the Oval Office? Why is Elon Musk there? Why is he being briefed? Why did the Pentagon press secretary make a statement about Elon being there for that purpose and then try to retract it? It is incredibly clear what is happening here. Elon Musk has bought his way into our most top secret military secrets. And what is he going to do with them? I don't know. Maybe pass them along to his friends in China. Where are the China hawks? Where is Lindsey Graham? Where is Tom Cotton? Where are these people who pretend to care about our national security? Where is Marco Rubio? These people have said again and again that Donald Trump shouldn't even have the nuclear codes, and now they're giving them to Elon Musk, essentially. That's what we're doing? This is beyond absurd and beyond dangerous. We are compromising the American military. We are compromising the safety of the globe because Elon Musk donated $250 million to Donald Trump. This is beyond insanity. I can't even believe it at this point. I said it. Elon has done horrible things. horrible things. What Doge is doing is disgraceful. It's unconstitutional. It's already been stated that it's criminal again and again, but this rises to a different level. This threatens not just national security, but the security of the rest of the world. And why so? Elon Musk can sell some more cars that explode in China paid for by our government subsidies coming out of your tax dollars. Like, it is beyond me. This is the most I have ever freaked out in one of these videos because it is so scary. I truly do not know what to say, and it does not stop. It does not stop with just Elon. Donald Trump is also selling us off to Putin, as Rachel Maddow clearly outlined right here.
Last summer, explosions at DHL cargo hubs. They were not accidents. They were not isolated incidents. They were part of what European and American officials described as an expanding campaign of Russian sabotage, including arson in the UK and the Czech Republic, attacks on pipelines and data cables in the Baltic, and tampering with water supplies in Sweden and Finland. Earlier last year, the U.S. also helped Germany interrupt an alleged Russian plot to assassinate an executive at a German arms manufacturer that supplies arms to the Ukrainian military. But those cargo bombs on those DHL planes, even with all that other stuff, when the DHL planes started having bombs on board, U.S. intelligence officials said they were a Russian test run to figure out how those devices could get aboard planes bound for the U.S. And as such, that was a frightening new escalation for American officials. The idea that that sabotage campaign could be coming here. Months later, the New York Times reported that White House officials became, quote, increasingly alarmed by secretly obtained intelligence suggesting Moscow had a far larger plan in mind to bring the war in Ukraine to American shores. President Biden dispatched his national security advisor and the CIA director to send a series of warnings to Putin's top aides. The core of the warning was that if the sabotage campaign led by Russia created mass casualties in the air or on the ground, the U.S. would hold Russia responsible. They didn't specify what that response would be, but they made it clear they would take the shadow war between Washington and Moscow to new levels. So that was last year. A new in-depth study of Russia's sabotage campaign finds that the number of Russian sabotage attacks in Europe nearly tripled between 2023 and last year, after quadrupling the year before that. Reporting on that, here's how the New York Times put it, quote, anger at Russia's sabotage efforts has the potential to influence European reactions to the U.S.-led push for an end to the war in Ukraine. Prime Minister Donald Tusk of Poland noted in a social media post on Monday that Lithuanian officials had confirmed his assessment that Russia was responsible for a series of fires in shopping centers in Warsaw and Vilnius. Mr. Tusk wrote, quote, to know before negotiations, such is the nature of this state. The message to countries supporting Ukraine has been that Russia can impose costs and increase them. So we had this very big scare last year with not just this sabotage to start to target the United States. Yesterday, we get data that Russian sabotage attacks in Europe quadrupled one year and then tripled the year after that. Well, now today we get this from Reuters. U.S. suspends some efforts to counter Russian sabotage as Trump moves closer to Putin. Quote, several U.S. national security agencies have halted work on a coordinated effort to counter Russian sabotage, disinformation.
I don't even know what to say at this point. I remember during the debate and on the campaign trail that VP Harris said that Donald Trump was going to sell us out to a dictator because he is so susceptible to flattery. I did not think that that dictator would be Xi Jinping through Elon Musk. Through Elon is selling us out to a dictator. Like, it is an extra step. I'm sorry. This is insane. And we're only a couple of weeks in. We need to be outraged about this. I'm sorry. This is scaring me. I may have to edit this out, but we need to be this upset and this outrage and fight back this much. We are certainly going to do it on this show every single day. This is insane. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. Certainly going to need it. And until next time, and hopefully there is a next time, I will see you soon.